Sure, abuti honestly.
Are you a police officer?
No, I'm not a police officer. I've been around, my sister, and I believe at the right time with the proper platform, I'll be able to expound to the latter as to who's Brown Mogotsi with my underground experience or underground operations, of course. I'll be able to share when asked as to where do I fall in this environment.
Now, you are not in a position to explain to us how you find yourself in this police environment, but you were at the center stage of Lieutenant General Mchwanazi's press conference on Sunday. What do you make of these allegations that is leveled against you, the undue and improper relationship that you have between Minister Mchunu as well as Vusmusi Matlala? Those allegations.
Yeah, first of all, I need to even show the viewers at home and South Africans that General Mchwanazi's press conference happened at the very wrong time. The timing is very inappropriate because now, like he alluded during his press conference, I spoke to him, I sent him a message last year, but only after the arrest of the 5 generals and these other brigadiers, he decides now to call a press conference. In addition, you'll be surprised that I think on Thursday last week, just before his press conference, he did talk to me, and from him calling me, there are possibilities that I was checking on him, but he called me, and we also spoke about the need to save the country and the fear that every policeman can now obtain a J50 to arrest another a policeman. The J50 is a warrant of arrest. So I was very surprised on Sunday to hear him now bringing this thing again.
I believe with the sentiment he shared that South African Police Service has been captured for individual and political interests, because he was also in contact with you.
Yes, no, not necessarily that. When I speak about the timing, amongst those 5 generals, there is one major general by the name of General Lushaba. He was born 1993, but he's a major general. He's above a brigadier. I'm not questioning his age by being attached to the position, but given that there are so many people who have served with similar qualifications that he has, being warrant officers or captain for more than 30 years. But it's not my place to talk about. This same General Lushaba, he happened to go to Pretoria in one of the nightclubs and met one girl who he took to his house. He took the girl to his house. I don't know what happened at night, but in the morning, the girl was nowhere to be found with a state cell phone and a state laptop. And instead of him approaching the authorities to say, perhaps I had a visit at home or something, he decided to open a case of housebreaking. And guess what? The housebreaking case was opened. It was called Docket 38. My sister, don't be surprised when I said I'm being around. The information that I'm giving you, I say, if I'm questioned at the right platform, I'll be able to allude this to. How do I end up having this information? And it does not come from Minister Mchunu, General Sibiya, or General Khan, or anyone of those General Mchwanazi has mentioned.
So you confirm that you have access to privileged policing information?
No, it's not that I have access. This environment information comes to you. The proper platform will give me an opportunity, if asked, to say, where does this and this come from and how do you handle that?
You're saying through your relationship with Minister Mchunu, you do not have access to such privileged information?
He never shares police information.
Then where do you get this information, which is privileged and sensitive?
Like I said, only the proper platform can allow me to divulge as to where does the kind of information come from.
Hey guys,
I can name the few: the killing of the traditional leaders in the National Prosecuting Authority, NPA, supported by both state security as well as correctional services, which commenced its work in July of 2018 to implement the now tried and tested analysis-led and prosecution-driven investigation strategy. As a result of the excellent performance, the Political Killings Task Team has been assigned in another presidential intervention project. I can name the few: the killing of the traditional leaders in the province of KwaZulu-Natal, as well as the murders that happened in the University of Fort Hare in the Eastern Cape. Since the establishment of this Political Killings Task Team in July 2018, the team has been investigating a total of 612 case dockets. These case dockets include murders, attempted murders, intimidation, conspiracy to commit murders, and other cases. A total of 436 suspects were arrested and charged. 156 firearms were recovered, of which 55 of them were linked directly with ballistically through our forensic testing to the political related cases. An additional 35 suspects who are members of the South African Police Service were arrested. The notable one is the one who's now in prison, who's been working with the parliamentarian who was involved in the murder, about the murder of one Siniso Magado. We're going to talk about that later. A total of 128 accused were found guilty on 106 cases. 29 accused were sentenced to life in prison. 40 accused were sentenced between 10 to 35 years. 25 accused were sentenced between 1 to 9 years. 23 accused were sentenced between 3 to 12 months. And there's quite a lot of awaiting trial prisoners that are going to be finalized in the next coming few weeks. So a total of sentences that is total number of years that has been given, if I add all of them, amounts to about 1,801 years of imprisonment. This is the work done by the team since 2018 to date that have led into the successful prosecution because of this integration working between the SAPS and the prosecution. On the 26th of March 2025, this year, a total of 121 case dockets that were under investigation were taken away from the task team as directed by a Deputy National Commissioner Crime Detection, a Lieutenant General Sibia, who was acting on the instruction of the Minister of Police to disband the team. This was done without the authority of the National Commissioner, nor I, as a Provincial Commissioner, was never informed. These case dockets have since March been sitting at the head office ever since, without any investigation work done on them. 5 of these dockets had already instruction to arrest perpetrators, but nothing has been done because a Lieutenant General Sibia, being instructed by the minister, or well, executing instruction of the minister, withdrew all these dockets and they are sitting in archive in his office in Pretoria. God knows why. Therefore, only a total of 112 dockets which are still in court, of which 54 of them are political related and others will include parallel ad hoc, as well as the dockets that are involving the incident at Fort Hare University, and 5 of them are traditional leadership, are still with the team at this present moment. In the year 2024, a request was received from Gauteng Organized Crime Investigating Unit to assist with the investigation to dismantle the organized crime syndicate that was operating in Gauteng, that was controlled in Gauteng but operating in the rest of the country and in neighboring countries. I, as a Provincial Commissioner, took a decision to deploy 10 members from this Political Killings Task Team to go and support this organized crime unit in Gauteng. I can tell South Africans that this decision was a cause for the disbandment letter of this team, because they overstepped their mandate of only focusing in KZN. They went to support Gauteng organized crime unit with the dismantling of a criminal syndicate. And I can confirm before the South Africans today that the investigation which these members were involved with in Gauteng has unmasked the syndicate. And this syndicate involves, amongst others, politicians who are currently serving in Parliament. The law enforcement officers include the members of the South African Police Service, the Metro Police, and correctional services. They include prosecutors in Gauteng province, the judiciary, and all these are controlled by the drug cartel as well as business people in that province of Gauteng. This act, of course, undermines the criminal justice system in this country. Mr. Brown Mogotsi sends a WhatsApp message to myself, Lieutenant General Mchunu, regarding the allegation on the defeating the ends of justice matters which were widely publicized, which involves an incident that happened at the correctional service at Mpangeni in KwaZulu-Natal. Mr. Brown sends this message in September last year, long before the news came out in public about the incident that happened at Mpangeni. He sends this message. In this message that he sends to the Provincial Commissioner, he attaches a police letter and he attaches a copy of the occurrence book, a register that is used at the police station that's supposed to only be accessed by police officers. But Mr. Brown, who's not a police officer, attaches those in his message and he sends it to the Provincial Commission. His word says there is a plot to charge you. Mr. Brown Mogotsi also sends a screenshot of a presentation that was made on the 30th of September 2024, a presentation that was titled 2024-2025 Division Crime Intelligence Policies. He sends this to myself, Lieutenant General Mchunu, as a Provincial Commissioner of KwaZulu-Natal. Surely this must have been a classified information where crime intelligence are presenting their policies. But this man has access to that, and he's not a policeman. When asked to share the copy of this presentation through that WhatsApp communication, he responded by saying, General Khan will brief you next week. There's only one General Khan in the South African Police Service, so is one Lieutenant General Sibia in the South African Police Service. I've never heard of any other Lieutenant Generals in any other way in the security cluster in the country with the very same names. So I assume these are the colleagues that I know very well. He further wrote on the very same WhatsApp message. He said that, I quote, the minister is briefed. He has just arrived in Lusikisiki, end quote. You will recall, colleagues, that we had an incident in Lusikisiki, a mass murder that happened there. And the Minister of Police had gone visiting the families and that crime scene. So after this communication, the Provincial Commissioner called the Chief of Staff, Mr. Nkabinde, the Chief of Staff of the Minister of Police, and asked the Chief of Staff, who is this Brown Mogotsi? This Brown Mogotsi seems to be traveling with the Minister to Lusikisiki. Who is he? Because I've never heard of him. The response from the Chief of Staff was that Mr. Brown Mogotsi is an associate of the Minister, but is not employed in a department. That's when I got a confirmation about Mr. Brown Mogotsi. Then I asked the Chief of Staff to send the phone number of this Brown Mogotsi, of which he did. It is that number that made me to confirm that indeed the person who's sending me WhatsApp messages is the same person that is called Brown Mogotsi and is from Northwest. On the 5th of March 2025, The South African Police appeared before the Portfolio Committee in Parliament. A presentation was made to this Portfolio Committee by the Provincial Commission of KwaZulu-Natal, which included the allegations of an associate of the Minister of Police, Mr. Brown Mogotsi. The minister denied on record. Go and Google a visual presentation to the Portfolio Committee on the 5th of March this year, towards the end of that briefing, where the Minister of Police responded and he said he does not know this Mr. Brown Mogotsi. He said that in Parliament. However, the minister confirmed that he knows this Mr. Brown Mogotsi during a telephone conversation that he had, which was posted on X under the a handler at Load Care. This was on the 30th of March, where he confirmed that this was his comrade from Northwest. The conversation between the minister and that lady is available. You can go on X and find it on the 30th. If it has been removed from that account, as we finish this briefing, I'll share that with you.
No fluff, no drama, just facts and truth. Shocking, devastating, emotional truth.
Yena umkhalazi waqala ukukhuluma nje babemindivate Portfolio Committee ngezokhuluma into eziningi nje that I wasn't sure about, I didn't know, and I wasn't expecting address Portfolio Committee, including ukuthi kunomuntu akhuluma naye oyi-close association yami wamtshela ukuthi kukhona into eyenziwayo ngaphakathi ukuthi axoshwe. Ngangazike uyamsho lo muntu manje, lo muntu amshoyo ucomrade nje wase-Northwest. Akabheke department, is not my close associate as ayesho lapha. Uma ngila-understanda lelo gama, umuntu nje oyafuna ngey'nto zaba-ANC, not izinto ze-department. Uya-WhatsApp nje uma ukuthi khona ayitholile enye department mhlawumbe enhle noma engeyinhle, uyabona like comrades would do so. Ude
check-in bekwazi
kukhona icala lapho engaqhubeki kanjani. I get those things every day. Manje those are from people that I know and from people that I don't know. Manje uma uthi as a close association we-apply ukuthi umuntu engibhema nawo ugwayi
shutudakhe kanje uphuza nayo
ibhadi, which is not the case at all. So this year njengoba ku-March nje, I think the last time ngimbona it was last year. Ukuhlangana nje naye at his request ezodiscuss enye into yakwayensi futhi ambona about. I got somebody insisting that there's somebody who's going around saying he works with me wherever I am, he is there, and I said show me the face, and it got to a point where he showed up in the face and I told him I don't know this person. Malima-ke entweza naye yabona entweza nje ikhulume eralini yakhe uzefaka mina ukuthi umkhalazi uyatshajwa ngoba ubezobupha mina awukade indaba enkulu, kodwa-ke uMalima akayikhulumi into kanje ungakaze uhlale naye wamkhulumisa. The only thing uyabona uma uhlale naye wamtshela into akabesakhuzeka futhi akakutsheli i-timing yokuthi uzoyisho le nto ishila kuphi nene. Umuntu onjalo ungamdeba manje yonke into uyathanda, umuntu othandayo nje ukukhuluma. So kusho ukuthi khona ukhulumile naye somewhere somehow.
wayeseba nesibindi sokuthi azukukhuluma ngalokuthi azalandelele.
Akatike sibindi lo muntu ekhulumela nje yonke into efika ekhanda yabona.
So I think I picked up something that Provincial Commissioner Mkhwana is saying. about some fellow. 2 weeks ago, it does happen in a week or 2 or 3. I think a week and a half ago, I got somebody insisting that there's somebody who's going around saying he works with me wherever I am, he is there. And I said, show me the face. And it got to a point where he showed me the face, and I told him, I don't know this person. And a week before, there was another person, a Mchunu, who said is my younger brother. My younger brother died in 2005, and I don't have any other. And so when the person says so, you really, so I think we must be very circumspect when people come to us and say, I must be an associate of this and that. I'm no associate to the person that General Mchunu is referring to. But I appreciate whatever they discussed, and then those things coming out so that I understand who is saying what, where, and so on. I do know that possibly all of us, including you, Chair, you would have at one point or the other somebody claiming that they are your associate. It does happen. But other than that, thank you very much.
Nothing. Sure, I would do ownership.